Om Shanti. Today is Satguruvar, the 7th of September 2023. On this Thursday morning, let us listen to the Sakar Murli from our beloved Bap Dada Madhuban. Essence. Sweet children, churn the ocean of knowledge and clarify the great difference between Sri Krishna and the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul Shiva. This Murli is related to Krishna Janmashtami. Let's hear the essence once again on this Thursday. Baba says, sweet children, churn the ocean of knowledge and clarify the great difference between Sri Krishna and the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul Shiva. We must relate it to the Krishna Janmashtami. Today's question, what conversation does Brahma Baba have with himself? And what is he amazed about? In answer, Baba says, Brahma Baba talks to himself and says, I don't know what happens to me. I forget Shiv Baba again and again. It is not that I remember the Father when he enters me and that I forget him when he leaves. I am his child. How can I forget to remember him? It is only when I remember Baba that he comes. Brahma Baba continues to be amazed while he talks to himself in this way. Today's song is, You are the ocean of love, we thirst for one drop. Om Shanti. Shiv Baba sits here and explains to his long lost and now found children who the God of the Gita is, because Bharat is in the darkness of ignorance at this time. This is called extreme darkness, the darkness of ignorance. And so, the light of this knowledge is needed. What is it called? Baba says, Bharat is in the darkness of ignorance at this time. This is called extreme darkness, the darkness of ignorance. And so, the light of this knowledge is therefore needed. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is the one that human beings accept as the ocean of knowledge or knowledgeful. Acha, if he is the ocean of knowledge, what do you receive from him? Baba asks us. You receive water from rivers and so people bathe in that water a lot. What is it that you receive from the ocean of knowledge? One drop. The Father comes and explains to the children, I am the ocean of knowledge. I give you one drop. What drop is that? I simply tell you that I am your Father and you have to remember me. So what is the one drop that Baba is giving us? Baba says, I simply tell you that I am your Father and that you have to remember me. Have the consciousness that you are returning to your land of peace and the land of happiness. The ocean of knowledge sends you to paradise, to the land of liberation within a second. He gives you a divine vision while you are sitting at home. Human beings give drishti to one another when they are facing one another. Baba grants you a vision while you sit at home. By receiving just one drop, you go beyond. While sitting here, you go to paradise. So what is Baba telling us about the difference between human beings giving drishti and Baba giving us drishti? Baba says he gives you a divine vision while you are sitting at home. Human beings give drishti to one another when they are facing one another. Baba grants you a vision while you sit at home. By receiving just one drop, you go beyond. While sitting here, you go to paradise. The Father now sits here and explains to you who the God of the Gita is. He is the ocean of knowledge, the incorporeal one. Human beings sing this praise of Sri Krishna. You now have to explain to them that Sri Krishna did not speak this knowledge. What do we have to explain to people? That Sri Krishna did not speak this knowledge. First of all, they say that Sri Krishna took birth from his mother's womb in the land of Kans. Then the sound was heard, O Kans, the one who was to kill Kans has come. You understand that all of those are devils. They have shown the birth of Krishna to portray the destruction of sinful souls like Kans, Jarasandha, Akasur and Bakasur. Therefore, Sri Krishna took birth. However, he was a young child. So when did he give this knowledge? They show Sri Krishna on a battlefield in the mature form. They don't show him as a baby. In fact, after the birth of Sri Krishna, they show the birth of the Gita. Perhaps he would have given this knowledge when he grew a little older. They also show his birth, the time that he took birth during the night. Here you can see that Shiv Baba has entered this one, meaning Brahma Baba. However, no one knows when he enters. Shiv Baba doesn't become a child. He comes when this one is old and has reached the age of retirement. There is no date for when he comes. There is a time and date given for Sri Krishna. He takes birth through a womb. Here, Shiv Baba is the ocean of knowledge. He doesn't have to become a young baby and then grow older before giving this knowledge. So what is the difference between Krishna and Shiv Baba? Baba says Shiv Baba is the ocean of knowledge and he doesn't have to become a young baby and then grow older before giving this knowledge. Sri Krishna's birth takes place in heaven. He cannot teach Raj Yoga to anyone because he himself becomes a king. You understand that it is definitely the incorporeal Father who comes and teaches Raj Yoga. He purifies the impure and makes you into the kings of kings. There is a difference in the meaning of a limited day and night and this unlimited night and day. This is the confluence when the night of Brahma ends and the day of Brahma begins. This is an unlimited night when there is the darkness of ignorance. In the golden age, there is light. It is not a question of that night. Baba says they celebrate the birth of Sri Krishna in the night. That is limited, whereas this is unlimited. The Father says there is no date or time for when I come. Krishna and Rama etc. have a date and a time for when they come. There are just two main ones. Now the festival of the birth of Sri Krishna is coming and you have to explain to them that Krishna was a small child. The night and day of Brahma is remembered. Sri Krishna exists in the day of Brahma and Brahma exists in the night of Brahma. Brahma is the one who later becomes Sri Krishna. It cannot be said the night of Krishna and the day of Krishna. What cannot be said? It cannot be said, says Baba, the night of Krishna and the day of Krishna. They believe that Krishna is God and that He is present everywhere. So you have to explain to them. Your celebration is the birth of Shiva, or it can also be called the night of Shiva or Shivratri. It is accurate to use the term Shiv Jayanti. This too has to be explained. So what is Baba telling us? Your celebration is the birth of Shiva, or it can also be called the night of Shiva or Shivratri. Rather, it is accurate to use the term Shiv Jayanti. This too has to be explained. He doesn't enter a womb, meaning Shiv Baba. He enters an ordinary body. There are the 8 generations of Sri Krishna. In the childhood, he is called Mohan, meaning one who attracts others, or Krishna. Just as there is the Prince of Wales, in the same way there is the first throne of Indraprasth and he is the Prince of Indraprasth. Then from a prince he becomes a king. The name Krishna is not used. He is remembered as an emperor. Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan are known as an empress and an emperor. The word king is used in English. In reality, Baba says it should be emperor and empress. It is not that Narayan gave knowledge. When Sri Krishna marries, he becomes Sri Narayan. The name of Shiva, the ocean of knowledge, doesn't change. He only has one name. His chariot is big. He begins to give this knowledge as soon as he comes. This Brahma didn't know anything, meaning Brahma Baba. It is understood that Shiva has entered this one and is granting visions and giving knowledge. The significance of the visions and the knowledge was not understood initially. Baba shares his experience. Who? Brahma Baba shares his experience. Brahma Baba says, in the beginning, when he went to Banaras, he used to draw circles, etc. on the wall. but didn't understand what they were. It was as though this one had become like a baby. He had taken a new birth. Some say, Baba, I am a child of 8 months or 10 months. I too had become like a child. Initially, I did not understand anything. The aspects of knowledge were something else. I used to sit and write all sorts of things. Now, many years have passed since I studied these things. I can now understand the things that the Father is teaching. You children have to explain about the festival of Krishna Jayanti. Baba says the pictures are absolutely accurate. There is also the picture of Brahma in the picture of the tree. It is this one who eats the butter, but it is the butter of sovereignty of the world. So, Brahma Baba, it is this one who eats the butter. It is the butter of sovereignty of the whole world. Sri Krishna comes with his reward of the golden age. Sri Krishna is the first prince of the golden age, and his children also become princes. That is his reward which he didn't have in the iron age. So Baba asks, who created this reward of the Sun dynasty? It has been remembered that when the sun of knowledge rises, the darkness of ignorance is dispelled. What is remembered? It has been remembered that when the sun of knowledge rises, the darkness of ignorance is dispelled. Shiv Baba is the ocean of knowledge. He has come and is establishing heaven. You have to explain the contrast. How Sri Krishna could enter a womb? Baba tells us that we must explain as to how Sri Krishna could have entered a womb. It has been shown that Kans and Jarasandh etc. existed there in the golden age. In fact, devils cannot exist there. They show a war between devils and the deities. Surely, devils must have existed at the end of the Iron Age and deities at the beginning of the Golden Age. There was no war between them. There is definitely the Mahabharat war, but deities cannot exist here at this time. It is devils that fight with devils. What is Baba saying? It is devils that fight with devils. The kingdom of the Muslims has also been shown. There are definitely the Yadavas, the Kauravas and the Pandavas. The Pandavas are non-violent, ones with the power of yoga. Rivers of blood continue to flow here because there is a great deal of enmity. Rivers of blood flowed very forcefully at the time of partition. It was a war between brother and brother. They are brothers after all. They are the ones who battled. How else would there be the river of blood? They kill one another. They use the sword and then the river of blood flows. Baba says this is the period of the confluence. After the rivers of blood, rivers of ghee will flow. Sri Krishna was a young prince and yet they have defamed him. He cannot be called the ocean of knowledge. The praise of the deities has been sung as those who are completely virtuous, full of all divine qualities, the one who follow the highest code of conduct. This praise cannot be given to a child. What is Baba telling? Baba says those who are completely virtuous, full of all divine qualities, the ones who follow the highest code of conduct. This is the praise of deities. This praise cannot be given to a child. The praise is always given to the kings and queens. They have shown Lakshmi and Narayan in the golden age, whereas Krishna has been shown in the copper age. This is such a huge mistake. No one can even tell you anything of the story of Lakshmi and Narayan's childhood, although they do mention a little about Rama and Sita. They also relate wrong things about Krishna. Baba says at least they should tell a story that is correct. The praise of Lakshmi and Narayan is completely virtuous, those who follow the highest code of conduct and the highest religion of non-violence. Acha, who gave them that kingdom? People become confused when reference is made to human beings. By hearing the names of Lakshmi and Narayan, your intellects are drawn to the golden age. This is a story about changing from an ordinary human into Narayan. It is not the story of becoming Sri Krishna. It is called the story of becoming the true Narayan. What is Baba clarifying? It is not the story of becoming Sri Krishna, It is called the story of becoming the true Narayan. It is not called the story of becoming the true Sri Krishna. The true Baba, the ocean of knowledge, tells you this story. It is a story of the beginning, middle, and the end of the whole world. The story of Sri Lakshmi and Narayan is also included in it. The story of their 84 births is shown. Your boat goes across by listening to the story of Sri Narayan. The father sits here and tells you children the true story of changing from an ordinary human into Narayan. Sri Narayan is an adult. Who was he before his marriage? Baba asks us. Were they called Lakshmi and Narayan, or were they called something else? They are Radhe and Krishna, and their names are changed on their marriage to Lakshmi and Narayan. Baba gives you essays to write about this, so you have to churn the ocean of this knowledge. This is the foremost mistake. You understand that this is now the Iron Age. There are the Yadavas, the Kauravas, and the Pandavas. It is now the period of the Iron Age. The Golden Age will definitely come after the Iron Age. The father says, I have come here as your guide to liberate you from the claws of Ravan and to take you back. I will only take souls back. What is the father telling us? I have come here as your guide to liberate you from the claws of Ravan and to take you back. I will only take souls back. Baba says, I will only take souls back. It has been remembered that souls and the Supreme Soul were separated for a long period of time. It was not that Sri Krishna was separated for a long period of time. This praise is that of the incorporeal one. Baba says, this praise is of that incorporeal one. A beautiful meeting takes place when you find the Satguru, the agent. Here, all are Gurus. It has been remembered that the Sadguru, the agent, is found. You find the true Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, in the form of an agent. Baba gives the example of an agent. He says, a deal is made through an agent. This is also an engagement. Souls are separate from the Supreme Soul. The Supreme Soul is incorporeal. He comes and enters this one and enables you to become engaged to him. He himself becomes the agent. He says, remember me, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. He sits in this body and says, constantly remember me alone. I will liberate you from Maya, Ravan, and take you back with me. I will give you the kingdom and then go and sit in the land of Nirvana. Krishna cannot say this. What is the difference between Baba and Sri Krishna? Shiv Baba says, I will liberate you from Maya, Ravan, and take you back with me. I will give you the kingdom and then go and sit in the land of Nirvana. Krishna cannot say this. Here it is souls and the Supreme Soul. Krishna is a small child. There are many things that have to be explained. Therefore, Baba has explained how he entered this one. Shiv Baba is now explaining how he entered Brahma Baba. Brahma Baba recalls that I then began to understand that I am to become a king of kings. I had a vision of Vishnu and I experienced a great deal of happiness in my heart. Then I had a vision of destruction. However, I didn't understand that much. It is now that I understand that Baba gave me a vision of how I will change from an ordinary man into Narayan. But I didn't have that much understanding at that time. Similarly, Baba told you last night, I don't know what happens when I forget to remember Shiv Baba. It is not that when the Father enters, I think that Baba has come, that there is then remembrance, and that when Baba leaves, I forget to remember him. When points of knowledge are being spoken, I feel that the unlimited Father comes and speaks these aspects. What is Brahma Baba saying? When points of knowledge are being spoken, I feel that the unlimited Father comes and speaks these aspects. However, I myself forget him. Is it that Baba comes because of my remembrance? Can it be said that I remember Baba again and again? It is good that he enters this one because everyone can experience benefit. Remembrance is the main thing. Whether the Father comes or not, it is essential to remember Him. Let's hear this sentence again. Remembrance is the main thing. Whether the Father comes or not, it is essential to remember Him. Baba has explained that it is after the birth of the Gita that there is the birth of Krishna. First there is Shiv Jayanti, then the birth of the Gita, and then the birth of Krishna. Shiva is mature, and so he speaks the Gita as soon as he comes. He is not young. You have to churn the ocean of knowledge about how you can explain these things. First think, Baba tells us, who is the one called Shiva? Who is the one whose night is celebrated? The golden age is the kingdom of Sri Krishna. It is only the Father who can give you this knowledge for changing from an ordinary human into Narayan. He is knowledgeful. No one else can be called knowledgeful. God is knowledgeful, the creator, the seed. He is the one who gives the knowledge of the drama. No one knows when the drama begins or when it ends. No one can explain how the history and geography of the world repeats from the beginning of the golden age to the end of the iron age. Baba says only those who are Trikaldarshi can tell you this, meaning this knowledge. No one except the one is Trikaldarshi, meaning Shiv Baba is the only one who is Trikaldarshi. Only he is the one who makes you Trikaldarshi. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children, and we the spiritual children also say namaste to our spiritual father. Today's essence for dharana has 2 points. The first point, become master knowledgeful and Trikaldarshi and clarify the great difference between Sri Krishna and God Shiva. Do the service of removing human beings from immense darkness. Second point, churn the topics that Baba gives you to write essays on and think about how you can explain it to others. Today's blessing, may you become a beloved child of the Comforter of Hearts and from His angelic form experience the corporeal form with the miracle of your intellect. Let's hear the beautiful blessing on this Satguruvar again. Baba says, may you become a beloved child of the Comforter of Hearts and from His angelic form experience the corporeal form with the miracle of your intellect. Baba explains, although some children are finding the Father later from His angelic form, they experience the corporeal form. They speak of experiencing sustenance from the corporeal form and are receiving it even now. So, to experience the corporeal form whilst in the angelic form is to have love in the intellect. It is the practical form of love. This also proves the miracle of the intellect. Baba says such children become the beloved children of the Comforter of Hearts and come close to the Father, the Comforter of Hearts. They have sung the song constantly, which is playing in their hearts, Vah my Baba, Vah. Baba says they have the song constantly playing in their hearts, Vah my Baba, Vah. Finally, their slogan for today, success is merged in every action and every step of a renunciate soul. Slogan once again, success is merged in every action and every step of a renunciate soul. Acha, Om Shanti.